Hey there, everybody. Gene Ginzburg here, digital marketing expert of GeneGinzburg.com. I'm very excited today because we have Scheel from Rhumbix joining us. Please introduce yourself. How's it going?
It's going well. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great pleasure to have you here and looking forward to learning more about what you've been up to, about your company. So let's get started. Maybe just share a little bit about your background and what Rhumbix is all about.
Yeah, so my background, I spent 5 years as a U.S. Navy Civil Engineer Corps officer. Spent 3 years working with Bechtel off and on a variety of projects. Bechtel is a large global construction firm. The last project I was on with them was in northern Chile. We were on the world's largest copper mine, building a new copper concentrator facility, 7,000 workers. We were collecting around 1,000 paper time cards every day. It would take 3 to 4 days to get that information manually put into Excel, another week to clean it up, to have a once a week meeting with 2-week-old data. So really Rhumbix was a solution that solves the problem of having access to better, more accurate field data in a more timely manner on a construction site. So we digitize a variety of different data streams, from time and materials, payroll data, production information, notes, photos, daily construction reports, all to really help the construction industry transition off analog data collection methods to digital ones.
Yeah, that sounds so important. I mean, you don't want to be dealing with information that's like a week old, right? I mean, like, you want things to be right on time. And of course, with technology, this is so possible now. So I'm sure this is very beneficial to the construction industry. So yeah, that's fantastic to hear how we're utilizing technology now. Great. So what about things that are going on right now? Any exciting projects that you're working on?
Yeah, no, absolutely. One of the best parts about being a construction startup is we're always on exciting projects. Right now, I've got a couple of my team members out visiting one of our customers on a 300-mile natural gas pipeline that goes from northern West Virginia to southern Virginia. So up and down all the mountains and valleys, and there's thousands of construction workers on that single project that are all using Rhumbix to capture all the data every day on that project. And then I would say more related to internally things that we're working on, we just announced last week a partnership and collaboration with Autodesk, where they've primarily historically been a architecture, engineering, design firm, and are beginning to move more into the construction project management space. So we've really paired up with them to be able to combine the data sets that we have from field data with the building information, modeling information that they have in their software platforms.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, these are some exciting projects. I mean, yeah, that sounds amazing to have all of these things that you're helping to create, to produce. So sounds very cool. So being a startup founder, I'm sure you've learned a lot throughout the years that you've had your company, and even before. So what are some lessons that you've learned as a startup founder? Maybe you could share 3 lessons that have helped you along the way, and that you've learned maybe the hard way, maybe the easy way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think one of the most important lessons learned was really to trust our gut. I think my co-founder and I, we're both first-time entrepreneurs and co-founders, and a lot of times we kind of would over-engineer solutions and go out and seek advice from a ton of different people, and then ultimately ended up making a decision that was the original one that we had in our guts. And I think that's something that, as a first-time founder, it's very difficult to overcome. This kind of fear of making the wrong decision, but it was really important just kind of learn that when you have a strong gut feeling, it's okay to trust that. And then the corollary to that is know when to ask for help. I remember very early on, one of our larger deals, we were negotiating with a large construction company, and I'd spent several days, writing out the terms and conditions and the software agreement, and then I sent it over to the lawyers, and they said, "This is great. This is what you pay us to do for you?" And I said, "Oh, really?" And so it was really knowing when to delegate, when to trust your gut yourself were 2 important lessons learned. I think another one was taught to me by one of my professors at Stanford, and said, "Hey, running a startup's like juggling a bunch of balls. There's glass balls and rubber balls. It's okay to bounce or to drop the rubber balls. They'll bounce a couple times and pick them up, but just don't make sure not to drop any of the glass balls. And so I think kind of early on, it was identifying what are those glass balls, what are those few things that we have to make sure that we don't drop, and then what are the other things that it's not going to be end of the world, it's not ideal, but that we can pick up and that are surmountable challenges to overcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, that's part of being an entrepreneur as a startup founder. Yeah, you have some glass balls, you have some rubber balls, and if the glass ones fall and break, then
not good.
Big problem. But yeah, I'm sure there's some rubber balls where you're like, okay, I can. This isn't bad. I think I can pick up on where I left off. So that's a good point. Really, I guess it's prioritizing right now. So making sure that the glass balls are prioritized over the rubber balls in certain points. So yeah, these are amazing lessons. And then switching gears a little bit, being a digital marketing expert myself, social media is of course a topic near and dear to my heart. So how are you guys using social media in your business?
Yeah, absolutely. Social media has been great for the traditional kind of putting content out there, generating a lot of inbound leads, as well as building our brand within the industry. The construction tech space has doubled, more than doubled over the last year, from 1,000 to 2,400 startups in the space. So super important that you're building your own digital brand online. And social media is a very powerful way to do that. It's also become increasingly important as a way to engage with our prospects and our current customers. We recognize foremen and field workers a lot in the field, and the ability to post pictures and photos of them using software and technology out in the field, and then tagging their companies and actually engaging with their companies' PR firms through social media is kind of a new way where we've been engaging with our customers that I think is very new to the construction industry.
Wow, very cool. Any specific campaigns besides like the ones you just mentioned, where you're tagging fieldmen and foremen in the space, or like out in the field?
Yeah, well, actually, coming up on our second annual Foreman of the Future Award, and so this is where we have a lot of our customers submit kind of foremen and field leaders that are really pushing the envelope and really helping move the industry forward. McKinsey and others have identified construction's the least digitized industry. Right here, we were able to get local kind of celebrity here in the Bay Area. Ronnie Lott played football for both the 49ers and the Raiders, was able to come out and hand out the Foreman of the Future Award on a large construction site here in the Bay Area. And it was an awesome event. Really helped. He just stood out there, signed autographs for about 30, 40 minutes after the presentation was over, and events like that are an awesome way to help us stay close to our customers, but also recognize the men and women for the great work they're doing out there in the field.
Yeah, of course. It's so important, of course, to recognize all of the people who are putting in the hard work. So that's a really exciting event. That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm sure that did really well on social media as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very cool. Awesome. Well, I know we're about to wrap up here, but before we do that, I wanted to ask, what's the best way for our audiences to get in touch with you or your company?
Yeah, absolutely. If you go to our website, Rhumbix, that's RHUMBIX.com, you can find plenty of information there about the platform, and sign up to have one of our sales reps reach out to show you a demo. Alternatively, if you wanted to get in touch with me, my email is Zach, Z-A-C-H, @Rhumbix.com, and Twitter is @CBCEO, and that's SEABEECEO.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Zach Scheel. Very exciting that you were on the show here, and I loved hearing about your story, about your company, and how you're using social media, of course, in your business, topics that I love hearing about from entrepreneurs and startup founders. So thank you so much for being here. And yeah, we look forward to having you back.
Awesome. Thank you.